What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kai, and today we're going to be talking about exactly on how you can double your Airbnb profit this month.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Did he just say double your profit on Airbnb? Yes, I did. And as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about some of the fundamentals that you can apply to your Airbnb today or your new listing to where you can double your profits today, starting on this month. All right, so before we start the video, make sure you go subscribe and like to my channel. That way you'll be updated every time your boy drop a fire video. All right, so one of my main concerns on when I first got into the Airbnb industry was how do I increase my profits? Once I pretty much had a structure with my Airbnb business, I wanted to know kind of how do I increase my prices? You know, I don't want, of course, my Airbnb profit staying the same all year and the year afterwards. So, of course, I did a little more research to be able to improve my profit. So I tried to figure out exactly what can I do to my property, what can I put inside this property, better photos, what can I put on my caption when people look at my Airbnb listing. Now, I apply all those things, but they increase my price, they increase my profits for the month. But of course, being an optimistic person, I tried to look for more and how do I increase my prices even more than what they are. Now, what I'm going to do for you guys inside this video is I'm going to bottle all those things up and I'm going to get the main key things that help me out and help increase my profit as I was going on Airbnb. To give you guys kind of an example of what happens when you implement these things for your Airbnb listing. Now, when I first started to buckle down on this and started to getting my pricing strategy right, started to put more amenities inside my Airbnb, I realized, like I said, it was increasing my profits just a little, but it wasn't enough for me. One thing that helped me out major inside my Airbnb, which we're going to talk about inside this video, more things to be able to gain profit on my Airbnb, which I found. Now, when I applied this to one of my Airbnbs, I had a breakthrough, I would say. And this breakthrough was actually crazy. Once I applied all these things we're about to go to talk about inside this video, my rent at that location, it was a single family home, the rent was $1,225 at that one location. Now, originally on that property, I was making about $4,700 of revenue, and bringing home profit, I was bringing around $2,200 to $2,600 a month, which isn't that bad. Know that I'm talking about this is when I didn't have all the things in place that I have now, which now that property is receiving at least $6,600 in revenue each month, and I'm receiving anywhere near $3,200 of profit each month now for this one property. But let's go ahead and get into the video. I just wanted to show you guys the possibilities on what's going on when you put these things in place on your Airbnb listing. All right, so number one, this is something I speak about before we even get to designing the house, trying to put amenities inside the Airbnb, et cetera, et cetera. We need to first get, for the people that don't have a location with Airbnb and you're just now out looking and trying to locate your first Airbnb, we're going to speak for you first. So the number one thing that I speak about is that your location is everything. Your location will determine your profit. Your location will determine your competition that's around you, which will affect your profits. Now, I'm not going to go too detailed on this topic. I go in more detail on videos on my page. You guys can go check out more videos on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of them that'll help you out with your Airbnb and more. Location is to set you off basically different. What sets you different than your competition? And I don't mean anything inside of your house. That is a factor, but I don't mean inside the house. Within your area, when you're picking your location, you want to make sure that if I'm looking in this area of Dallas, Texas, and it says that it's over 182 182 studio Airbnbs out in this area, I don't want to be the 183 studio apartment because that'll put me in a wide range of competition. Instead, you want to do your research, make sure you're setting yourself different than all the other people. So that means if it's less single family homes within that location area that you're picking, then select a single family home. That puts you in less competition. That makes your listing higher to be, a higher chance of your listing getting booked. All right, so this next one is going to be one of the biggest things that help you out a lot with gaining more profit on your Airbnb listing. This is going to be your guest capacity. How many guests can you fit inside your Airbnb? If you have a listing on Airbnb right now and you can only fit to 3 to 4 guests inside your Airbnb right now, what creative ways can you think of on how you can put more guests inside your house? I've seen people do a lot of different things. I've seen people have a big room, and because they have a big master bedroom, they won't just be okay with putting one master bed up in there or one king bed inside of the room. They'll try to double it up. They may get a couch that stretches out into a bed, which increases the guests. They might get 2 beds inside of one room, which also increases the guests. Also in the living room, if you have a regular couch, I would consider getting a let-out couch. That is something that also will increase the guest capacity on your listing. Know that that's going to be one of your key things trying to increase the guest capacity for your Airbnb listing. Now, this is going to open up a variety of things for you to be able to increase your profits on Airbnb listing. Most people do not know, but Airbnb is a search engine. Just like Google is a search engine, when somebody goes into Google and they type in a question, right? And they type in that question on Google, Google then searches to find the answer to that question that you typed in. Airbnb does the same thing. When somebody goes onto Airbnb website, they take in all the guest information. Exactly, do they want an entire house? Do they want an apartment? How many guests are they bringing with them? They're basically getting the questions on exactly what they need to find the answers to. So that means if somebody goes in within your area and they type in, it's me and my family, I want an entire house, right? Let's say that you picked a single family home within that area. You determine the right location. You set yourself off different. That person goes onto Airbnb and they select an entire house and they select, hey, listen, I have over 4 to 6 guests. Well, you know what? I have 6 guests coming with me. When they press the search button, right after that, Airbnb is no longer going to search any studio apartments because mainly studio apartments only can fit 1 to 2 guests. They're not going to be searching any 2-bedroom apartments because 2-bedroom apartments mainly only can take 3 to 4 guests. They're coming with 6 guests. So what do you think Airbnb exactly is going to search for? Search for all the houses that can fit at least 6 to 8 guests, right? That's exactly what the search engine is going to do. And when it does that, if you selected the right location, which means setting yourself off different, then you put yourself at a higher bracket of getting your now, Airbnb. This third one is going to be major also, which is going to be something I talk about a lot. It is pricing strategy. Pricing strategy is very important. A lot of people use systems nowadays like Wheelhouse to be able to price for them. So they won't have to go through their calendar and switch out prices weekly, daily, monthly to be able to look at exactly what's going on, events, etc. But if you're just now starting off on Airbnb, we're going to talk about pricing strategies that you can use that'll help you out on your way to a system like Wheelhouse. And we'll, of course, do videos on Wheelhouse once we get to it. But the main thing you need to know is going back to Airbnb is a search engine. So when you have a pricing on your Airbnb listing, let's say that your listing is at $158 a night. Now, if you notice, when you decrease a price on Airbnb listing, Airbnb then takes that listing and then lifts it up to show it out to more people, right? Did you watch what I said? Airbnb, when you decrease the price, so if my price is at $158 and then I take that price down to $100 on Monday, what Airbnb is then going to do is they're going to take that listing, they're going to show it out to more people. That way I can have a higher booking rate. That works better for Airbnb, that works better for me. Now, the key in this is to realize that, hey, if they are boosting my listing up every time I decrease a price, how do I set my system up? Or how should I set my system up? Should I change my prices out weekly? Should I change my prices out monthly? Should I change my prices out on and on throughout months or for specific events, right? These are things that systems like Wheelhouse do for you. They calculate seasons and exactly what events are going on, and they change the pricing accordingly. This is for the people that are doing it manually for right now and need a better understanding of this. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that video, and I hope you guys got that knowledge in. If you need to, make sure you replay the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you'll be updated every time I drop a video, helping you guys out all 2022. It's your boy, Kai Gibson, and I'm out.